Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight, we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case, day 46 missing. And Sheriff Nanos has a response to someone recording him about the recall that the county is seemingly trying to do where he was elected. Also, the blood on the porch. We're going to look a little closer at that. We were talking about tracks. Nobody, it didn't seem like there was any tracks with the blood, but there may be. I want you to take a look at something. Also, some new video images coming out. Do they have anything to do with Nancy? I don't know. Let's have a conversation on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They call me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me stand. I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fight don't scare me, it lights my world. clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Well, hello, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is March 20th, 2026, first day of spring. Praise the Lord. And it is 10:16 p.m on the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello, 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 Pam. I've made it. Finally, you got it. Pam emailed me earlier. She was having some internet problems. I'm glad you got it back. It really sucks to have internet problems, doesn't it? Good to see you all. Hello, Lolo, Sherry. Good to see you. Miss Robin, Brandy, always in Indy. Who else do we got? Jason, peace of Jesus to all. Yvette, Bo, Leslie, Reptor. Why are there so many chairs? There's just a lot of chairs. There's just a lot of chairs. I don't know. It just is what it is. Brian, Shannon, good to see you all. Do you need a chair? You can have a chair. I'll give you a chair. Come down and sit a while. Just sit a while with us. Okay. Good to see you all. Really do appreciate you. Tonight we're talking about the Nancy Guthrie case. We are on day 48. 48. And still nothing of Nancy. Sheriff Nanos from the Pima County, Arizona, has not willingly spoke about this, but someone went up to him and was asking him about the recall that I'm going to show you. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about the tattoo and about the blood. We've always said, well, was there no tracking in the blood, like footprints? Maybe there was. Maybe we missed it. I don't know. I want to hear what you have to say. Also, images that have been rolling out. Very interesting. Let's see what everyone has to say on this. He's got quite the background sandwich. You're right. He certainly does. Certainly does. Guys, before we get started, if you would do me a solid and please hit that thumbs up button, would be so, so thankful if you would do so. Also, if you would be so kind and share the live out, just click share, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media, would mean more than you know. Also, after the live, for the live chat and for the replay, if you would be so kind, they give you 3 hypes per week. It's absolutely free. Consider hyping one of the videos, would mean so much as well. Also commenting down below, whether it's a hello, justice for Nancy, smiley face, why you have so many chairs, anything like that would work. I don't care. Just like whatever works. Good to see you all. It all helps push it out there. All right, guys. Thank you, peace of Jesus to all. Thank you so much, honey. Appreciate you. All right. We're gonna. Hey, Christy, good to see you. I'm all out of hypes. That's okay, Leslie. We got next week. We got next week. Thank you so much for hyping the video. Okay. Let's get on with it, shall we? So, where should we start first? We'll start with the littler things, I guess we could. Well, let's start with this. Let's start with Sheriff Doofy. Sheriff Nanos responds to the vote recall. Thank you, Carol. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate you hyping those. If you don't use them, you lose them, right? So I appreciate that very much. Here we go. Hello, Esther. Good to see you. Tina, Linda. Smiley face letter in Wisconsin for many men. Red rum in Wisconsin in the river. Yeah, I remember that. Hello, Della. Good to see you. Michelle, Sassy, Kim. Hello. Okay, let's go. All right. So someone caught up with Sheriff Nanos, and they write, from day one, something about this case hasn't set right, and people are starting to say that out loud, especially when it comes to how Chris Nanos handled it. 857 Tucson, great channel, by the way, finally caught up with him. So this is credit goes to 857 Tucson, and asked the question a lot of people have been thinking, but not getting answers to. What does he have to say about the recall efforts building against him right now? And more importantly, when are we getting a press conference about Nancy? Because let's be real for a second. This is silence. It's loud. People are tired. The family is waiting, and Nancy deserves more than vague statements and radio silence while the public is left piecing things together on their own. Where is the accountability? Is it in the room with us?
To the discovery.
And let's see here. So again, the question stands, how much longer are we supposed to wait? We're at day 47, going on day 50. Day 50, which is way, way too long, to say the least. Here we go. Let's get started.
857, can I ask you a couple questions? Okay. I just want to ask you, is there any time for maybe like a press conference that you're like a big where all the media can be there?
More information.
Okay. And then what do you think about the recall about that? I mean, I know is it stressing you out, or is it, yeah. Do you think it's going to be possible? Okay. Thanks, Sheriff. 857, can I ask you a couple questions? Okay. I just want to ask you, is there any time for maybe like a press conference that you're like a big where all the media can be there?
More information.
Okay. And then what do you think about the recall about that? I mean, I know is it stressing you out, or is it, yeah. Do you think it's going to be possible? Okay. Thanks, Sheriff.
You know, he is gritting his teeth right there. I don't know about the recall. No, it's not going to happen. They have until July something, and it does require a lot of signatures. Justin, he's supposed to clear it up so we can hear him. The FBI are back in the neighborhood again today about January 11th and January 24th camera footage, and they are working on the person who rented a place near Nancy's house and left the same day she was taken. Now, was they left the same day she was taken or a couple days beforehand? Angela, thank you so much for becoming a member, my dear. Appreciate you. Welcome to the Pearl family. Much love. Love your picture. Are you a cake decorator? I am really bad with decorating cakes. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. And Miss Shannon, you are incredibly generous. Thank you so much, my love. Appreciate you very, very, very much, my darling. You are so kind and precious. Really do appreciate that. You're not feeling good, Sassy? I'm sorry. Yeah. So there's that. All right. Now let's get to this track. You know the blood at the doorway, right? 1 second. Nancy Guthrie. Uh, all right, let me show you some pictures here, right? So we know that there was blood on the door, right? Or the doorway, rather. Looking at a little closer, is there actually marks in the blood somewhere? Someone found this, and it is interesting, I gotta say. I'm not sure I agree with them on what they think it might be, but nonetheless, I find a part of it interesting because it actually could be maybe something. I want to see what you guys have to say on this right here. So they're talking about this right here. Now they're looking like at these tires or whatever. Uh, Someone writes, and I have not heard anyone address this. The instant I saw it, my first thought was, oh, wow, that is an Under Armour logo. I don't think it's an Under Armour logo, but the way that it drops, they're saying this. Here's the closest match I could find on the bottom of the hiking boot. I believe it was worn by whoever brought Nancy out, not by the porch guy, unless his sneakers have it. I'm not so sure about that. But the way that this drops is interesting, right? And then you see here, each of these have kind of holes in them. And this is, it's not like drops over here. It's not like drops over here. I want to hear y'all's thoughts about this. I thought Cheryl Mack noticed a slight smear in one of the drops going down toward the walkway. I didn't see that, Joe. I love Cheryl, by the way. She's awesome. You can find the name if you ask any other question the right way. Yes. I got this. My friends and I were planning a trip. Did they finally get the mat? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. Hey, Sense of Soul, how you been, darling? So good to see you. Good to see Miss Sarah, darling. The record the person has includes several SA charges. Interesting. So the shoe treads walked in. I don't know, but they're comparing it with like an Under Armour tread on. I thought this was a tire tread, but it's a shoe tread. I know what Under Armour is, obviously, but they're talking about this part right here. I don't know. I mean, that would be very interesting. You see, talking about this, but the reason I'm not so sure about this, these have holes as well, right? And this one's a little smeared. So is this one. This one is not, but I guess it could be something like that or something in the other droplets of blood. You get what I mean? See the holes, if you will, the blood. I guess it could be part of the shoe, the edges or whatever. Um, I don't know. I thought it might be a mask let from a bike tire. I thought it might be, or sorry, a mark rather, let from a bike tire in a wheelchair tire accidentally going through a couple of marks of blood. I don't think it's from, I think you mean shoe because there are 2 drops of blood very close on the side. Maybe. I thought I recall someone saying the holes is them from the testing. Where did you see that? Hmm, I've not seen that. I don't think it's from a shoe print either. But I do find it interesting that there is different holes here. Could there have already Could there have been already dried blood there from before 131? Maybe Nancy cut her hand. Um, I mean, anything is possible. I don't find it likely, though. Yes, it really should have. The mat should have been specifically vacuumed from DNA and for foreign soil, any form of matter, and possibly foot patterns. I agree. Such a mistake. Hey, Esley, drop blood drops with the shoe. I think you would look like that. You're the first person who mentions. Well, I mean, I'm just bringing it up. Or one of his guests a while back. Yeah, the vacant spots in the middle of the blood drops are likely CSI taking swabs. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. Um, but there's definitely drops in some holes in it. Let me see if I got this. Let me pull this up. See if this will work a little bit better. Let me show you here. It's just a look at this. I'm just gobsmacked. Like you are a dum dum, Nanos. You are such a dum dum for not doing this. Look at this big ass mat right there. Right there. Hello. Hello. They had to walk over this mat and the dude comes straight up to the door, right? And he puts his hand and then he goes like like he's going to knock and then he like covers up the camera and he puts his thumb down there. To me it looks like he rings it. He's standing right there. You know, could they even get like um what if there was if there's like a chemical or any residue even on your shoe print? They could have even potentially even got it off the mat to see more about the shoe or where it's been or something. Craziness. There was two men at Nancy's house today and in not sure what they were up to. There's been so many people. I am too, Joe. Canada, yeah, me too. I thought the holes were where dirt from the weeds he used to cover the camera. Um, I don't think so. I don't think so. Um, I don't think he could have used these weeds to actually cover the camera. How do you use weeds to cover the camera? He just wasn't thinking very good there, in my opinion. They said the twigs are from that could be it. And they said the twigs are matte are from the plant uh he put on the camera that left it behind. I guess like the leaves or the twigs could have blown into the blood as well and made marks as well. Mhm. He is Summer. He is very much so. Very much so sleeping. Unbelievable that it's still just going on, you know. Okay, gonna get to this now. I want to show you um about this image thing right here. Uh, we're going to go to Nancy Grace. If you guys put a number 2 in the chat if you are familiar uh, with the Idaho 4 case, Brian Koberger. Put a 1 in the chat if you're not familiar with it. You're fine, Oranges. Good to see you, honey. Okay, Okay. Well, they used something very interesting. There was a lot of interesting things in Idaho but Brian Koberger, he was originally from Pennsylvania. He was an assistant at a school in, one second here, we'll credit Nancy Grace. All right. All right, mods, if you would just be so kind and drop Mrs. Grace's link every so often. There was footage that we have of Koberger before or while he was getting ready to go murder 4 beautiful college students. Evil, the epitome of evil. And they make a very, very good point here on our friend Nancy Grace's channel. Here we go.
His white Elantra speeding by around 4 a.m. the morning of the murders, right? And she gave that to police, and the alarm went out to all law enforcement, including campus police, about a white Elantra. A campus cop at WSU, Washington State University.
Okay, now I got a question. After nearly 50 days now that we know Miss Guthrie has been missing, give me one reason they have not told us about a specific vehicle. In Koberger's case, the Idaho 4 case, they were talking about a white Elantra. Here, in Nancy Guthrie's case, nothing. Crickets. Zilch. Nothing on camera, says Lori. And that's really bad. That's really bad. That should be, I mean, we know that Nancy had to be placed in a vehicle, right? She had to have been placed in a vehicle, right? Well, I don't think we're too dumb to know, Jim Bond. What I think it is law enforcement doesn't know, right? Because if they were looking, it's either two things. They don't need help with it. They know. Or they have no idea. It's obviously one or the other. But they haven't asked us at all about a vehicle. And that means they either know who this vehicle is where Nancy was in. They have not asked us. And usually if they are needing help on something and they know what kind of vehicle it is, they're going to say, hey, there's if you know anyone that's driving, for instance, like a white Hyundai 2000 whatever, they'll say it. So do you guys think they have, right in chat, do you think they have a clue or they have no clue? Clue or no clue? Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. What do they know? Because this couldn't be a perfect crime. Well, there's no such thing as a perfect crime, but it's just a matter of finding the right thing. All right. So clue, no clue, no clue, no clue, no clue. It's about half and half. That's interesting. Interesting. I'm torn.
Says, oh, who's registered on campus for a parking spot with a white Elantra? Oh, Brian Koberger.
Oh.
That's where his name came from, because of his car. And then I like to use the case of glam yoga instructor Caitlin Armstrong. She murdered her love rival, a world-class dirt bike champion, because of over a man. Really? And her SUV is seen circling and circling and circling the murder scene. And then, of course, there's Molly Tibbetts. She goes out for a jog after studying all afternoon. And over, there she is. There's Molly. And this guy keeps approaching her.
Where'd you send it, Linda?
Because of distinctive markings on his vehicle. He's tracked through a vehicle. Day one, Fitzgibbons, we said car. And I'm not giving you or myself a pat on the back. I'm saying if this is the car at 10 a.m. Jan 31 that they're interested in, jackpot, maybe.
Yeah, and hey, you can go to great lengths to hide a cell phone. You could not take it. You could put it in airplane mode. It could be in a Faraday bag to try to keep Scott Eicher from finding you. But you can't hide a car. You can't hide a vehicle. So the hope is that if we can identify this vehicle and start to piece together some of the video evidence from the surrounding area, and experts on this case have gone to great lengths, including Douglas McGregor, who's been on this show, to map out the potential avenues of egress from Mrs. Guthrie's home. So that's got to be the focus is getting the description.
I forgot to do that. I forgot to read that thing last night about the egress. Let me find that, because that was so interesting. Y'all need to hear that. What was that?
That vehicle, and trying to find some video evidence of it to tie it back to an owner.
Okay, Scott Eicher, how do you trace a car? Once we have the picture, if we get the picture at 10 a.m., they've got to have a reason that they're saying 10 a.m. the morning of the kidnap. Jan 31, she's kidnapped. Go through the clock.
Listen.
The next morning around 2 a.m. Why are they saying 10 a.m. Jan 31? They've got to have a reason for.
Yeah. Think about that. January 31st. So they're asking for several dates. January 11th, January 24th, January 31st. Specifically at 10 a.m. January 31st. They don't ask for something unless they suspect something or they know something, right? So was this person at Nancy's house earlier that day? Were they inside the house? Did she have a meeting with them? Were they just stalking around the house? What is going on here? Okay, Linda. Thank you, honey. Appreciate you. Thank you, Deb. Good to see you, my dear. Do you think the perp was staying in the construction house at night since it was empty and he worked there maybe as hired help, encased her house, took her, dumped the body in a landfill close to Nancy? Interesting question, Deb. Very interesting question. Thank you so much for that. Do I think I really don't think so, in my opinion. I think that this person works a normal, I think he works a job. He probably lives with his mother or has a family. But this is the thing that raises a good point. Whoever this is, again, their family or the people that knows him has to be like, God, that kind of looks like so-and-so, right? And these in this guy at these times of the night, if he lives with family members, roommates, whoever, he's going, the people around him, especially if he doesn't normally go out at 2 a.m. in the morning and stay out all night, they're going to be questioning things like that, right? Like, why is Marvin going out late all of a sudden? That kind of looks like Marvin, doesn't it, in the picture? Like, they have to be questioning. They have to be questioning this. I don't know, but that's an interesting theory. I really don't think that they were like staying in the house or anything, because I really don't think this is someone homeless. I don't think this is like a vagabond type of person or anything like that. This person has transportation, is really nicely dressed. I do think that they are familiar with this neighborhood. They could know that this house is under construction and that no one is there. That's possible. They could take refuge so they wouldn't stand out during the nighttime hours if they were stalking around the area. It's possible for sure. Thank you so much for that, my dear. Appreciate you. Justin, do you think the two flying cars going to and from the direction of Nancy's house could actually be the cars involved in the time frame at that night? I think it's very possible. Yes, I do. I think because it is very much within that time frame. When they say flying cars, they mean cars that was going really fast. The Kia Soul in them. That's what they mean by that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, my darling. Appreciate you. Welcome to the Pearl family. Really do appreciate that. Thank you so much, Kay and Deb. Appreciate you, my loves. Truly, thank you. Oops, here we go. Oops, wrong one. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's get on to this. Got some things I gotta say.
Saying that, was there an
10 a.m. You
eyewitness?
gotta remember 10 a.m.
Remember,
Very
early
important.
on, a neighbor said they had seen a strange car that didn't belong to anybody sitting out on the street for an extended period of time near Nancy's home. Is it that car?
And remember, the neighbor did say that there was a car sitting outside for an extended period of time. Well, it's not normal for a strange car to be on the street. I mean, car trouble can happen, yes, or whatever. That can happen, but it's usually after that there's not someone that goes missing in your neighborhood. So I do think that they definitely need to look into that, in my opinion. Oh, it's acting up again, Pam. I'm sorry you're having trouble, darling.
We're finally tying something together tonight. So let's just pretend, for argument's sake, it is the car. They've got a time. They have a time. They must know about a car. So how do we track it?
So that's the question I just asked you a minute ago. They've not publicly asked us for a car like they did in Koberger's case, like they have in other cases. So it means they either know who the car that they're, or the vehicle that they're looking for, or they have zilch nada to have no idea. Right? There have been several people with more than one car too. Absolutely. Not that I am aware of, Charlotte.
Well, there's several different ways. One, we've talked about the videos, and they've got to really push that to get that from all the neighbors, all the businesses. Two is looking at the cell phones embedded in cars. If it's a newer type vehicle, we can narrow that down through the tower dumps of that area, identifying the type of cars that are there. Hopefully it will match the types of cars. And then we can track those cars and the cell phones that are traveling with those cars at those specific times. So that would help us get to those points of hopefully identifying who that is.
Yes. Wordsuit, the wrong year in the Koberger may make them rethink putting info on the car. They generally put they'll say like, and models usually they might change a little bit from year to year, but it'll be like a sequence of 3 to 5 years when models normally really change up the looks. So they'll put like 2012 to 2015, unless they are really sure. But they did in Koberger's give the wrong example.
And what kind of car they were in, and then where they went to after they were in the area around the time of the abduction.
So here's another question out to you, Joseph Scott Morgan. Can they trace the car's movements? Yeah. Which way was it going? Does it match potentially one of the cars caught 2.5 miles away the night of the kidnapping that we see on video? Is it one of those cars? Can we connect that? Can we connect it to the car that's been sitting out in the neighborhood surveilling? Can we connect it to the car that was spotted at a gas station, 7-Eleven type store that night? I mean,
they were very interested in those, that gas station, right? Remember whenever they ran over to Tommaso and Annie's house, they also went to that gas station again that day. They kept going to that gas station.
There's cars out the yin yang. A white vehicle was spotted.
But this is the thing, right? This is not an incredibly busy neighborhood at 2:00 in the morning. And to me, it's probably not going to be, it's not really a busy neighborhood anytime, because it's not a neighborhood that's got like this highway to get to a big corridor or anything like that. So it's kind of a neighborhood. You're either in the neighborhood because you live there, you're visiting someone, you're delivering something. It's not seemingly like it's not really a means to a destination, this neighborhood. So it's not going to, it doesn't have a lot of traffic. The parcels on these houses are pretty big parcels as well. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You would think that they wouldn't have that hard to find it. However, if this is an older vehicle, we're talking probably 2015 and older, that's going to make things a lot harder. But there's another way to look at that as well. Traffic lights, all of that. That's going to change things as well. If it's seen on traffic lights, cameras, that kind of thing.
On ring cam, 7 minutes away from Nancy's home. Are the pieces of the puzzle finally fitting together regarding a vehicle? Because now we know, Joe Scott, they're looking at a specific vehicle. We think it's a white vehicle. The morning she's taken. They're zeroing in on that, Joe Scott. What else?
A white vehicle. Could it be that Kia Soul? Remember the Kia Soul?
Is your analysis?
Well, going to my esteemed colleague, Mr. Eicher, I think that the most critical bit to this is trying to get that videography from all these other locations, and they can kind of create what I would call a mosaic of this imagery of the car moving past, moving forward, going about. And also, if they are able, because you had mentioned earlier about the cell phone, if this thing is pinging in there and they're capturing this, particularly in the approximately 10 a.m.
That is a good point as well, but it is what it is. The houses sit back from the street, so cameras that may had cameras near house, not street, they do sit back. That is true, but if there's traffic lights outside, like where the gas stations and stuff is as well, you would think that they could find them that way. With like the geofencing and stuff. But again, if these are older vehicles, it's going to be more of a challenge. They either know exactly what vehicle it is, and they know a lot more, or they have zilch.
Run that you're talking about, if they can zero that in, then you've got 2 points of connectivity at that moment in time. Where is this thing moving to? Can you see it moving in front of other cameras? And also out and about, away from this kind of, as it's been described, this maze in this neighborhood. Is there anything out on the periphery they've been able to piece together from local businesses that is going to match this up? I think that that's going to be critical. I'm very interested still with this area that is adjacent to the construction area that was there and this unoccupied home. I want to know, has that car ever settled there? Has it stopped? Has it paused? Because you're looking at a couple of locations where it could have paused. So where is the interest here? Going back to this idea of the profile of the individual, where are they vested time-wise? Where are they vested location-wise? And that's going to be a big part of this thread, Nancy.
America mayor. That is why we
where Nancy Guthrie lives. It is referred to as a maze-like road. It serves as the main residential road into the Catalina Foothills neighborhood. And you mentioned this earlier. It forms part of a maze-like residential area that is poorly lit.
Yvette says, I know the blood is out front, but I can't help to think that they went out the back. I think that they used both the doors. The main question is, how did they get Nancy out? Nancy had to be at that front door at some point, at least her body did. Whether she was alive or not, the main question is, how did they get her to the vehicle, right? I'm sure that they probably put her in a trunk or a hatch or something like that, alive or otherwise. And it's going to be the path of least resistance, right? Whether she walked on her own there to the vehicle, they would want to make it as short as possible, right? They would want to make this as short of a walk as possible. If they are carrying her, they are going to want to make it as short of a walk as possible, right? So, which is it? Where did this car park? Did it park in her driveway, like where the garage is? Did it park where, like, the curved driveway, like the roundabout? They may have originally parked like on the side of the street or something, but again, moving her to transport her in whatever way they transported her, obviously a vehicle of some sort, they had to at least move this vehicle up front somewhere, right? Because she was taken out of the house
At night, that comes into play. You have to know the roads and where you're going at night to be able to function in this area along Via Entrada.
So once we have a date, once we have a time, 10 a.m., we can go from there. And Scott Eicher, wouldn't it be possible if we're going with a white car, 10 a.m., Jan 31, to try, I'm sure you recall the Fotis Dulos case, Jennifer Dulos, Connecticut Mama 5, body never found. The law enforcement there in Connecticut put together an incredible video montage from businesses, homes, even at one point, a public bus opened up and you see the perp driving by, tracking his movements. I've got a time, I've got a potential vehicle, I've got a street. Isn't it possible now to look at the cams, look at Wi-Fi along the routes and see where the car went? I know it's going to.
Yes. And okay, let's think about that. Let's think about this. Okay. Yes, it's a lot of work, but it's going to be a lot of work. If they have this, for instance, they have this vehicle there at a certain time, and this vehicle is moving in each direction. They're going to go to each house, each business, and follow if there's any electronics in that car, truck, whatever it is, and see if it is handshaking. I call it a handshake, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, that kind of thing. And they're going to try to match up cameras, any electronic devices, the way this vehicle is moving.
It'll be difficult, but is it possible?
It is difficult, and there's a lot of different databases that we can pull from. One is the videos from the area, as you mentioned, the choke points coming from that point. Where would a car have to go from that point to get to other areas? The main avenues, the stoplights, the business cameras is all important stuff. But when we look at the cellular aspect of it, we can look at Google, we can look at Facebook, we can look at just tower dumps.
I don't think
same stuff. We do another tower dump in that area because it's going to be possibly different towers than the used around Miss Guthrie's residence. And we see, all right, is that those devices in that tower dump also in Nancy Guthrie's area tower dump. So now we put that same device in two important areas. That helps us a lot to try to narrow down the amount of different devices that we have to sort through to figure out which ones are important.
Also tonight, a vacant home used as a staging area. Dave Mack, what does that mean?
You know, Nancy, it is a home that sits off the backyard of Nancy Guthrie's home. It's vacant. And you mentioned it earlier. The perp walks up to the front door. We don't see a car dropping them off. We don't see a car picking them up in the neighborhood right there. But if they were staging, meaning if the perpetrators were in that is vacant, they could be in that house for days. They could be watching the comings and goings at Nancy Guthrie's home. And then when they decide it's time to go, walk across the backyard area. Now, this is at the time, we're talking 2 to 2:30 in the morning, when Nancy Guthrie's neighbor facing her backyard, facing Nancy Guthrie's backyard, the dog went crazy. And the two video cameras facing the backyard of Nancy Guthrie went silent, could not connect to Wi-Fi. The vacant home is near there. So if it's used by the perpetrators as a place to make their plan, to stage, well, there you go. You've got it.
Now, again, they could have, again, they are going to have to, which I believe this perpetrator knows exactly this neighborhood. You don't get to this neighborhood unless you know about the neighborhood. You don't do this crime unless you know about who you're walking into, right? You're not just going to walk into any home at 2 a.m. And do something like this. You got to know what you're going into.
Clear shot walking into Nancy.
Okay.
Guthrie's home. And we've got a dog going crazy.
This aerial view from our friends at 12 News. Now I'm going to ask the control room to please show me the aerial view of the feds coming through her side entrance, coming from the same direction, going past the pool, and actually taking photos of the gate, the pool gate. Remember this, Joe Scott Morgan? After Nana.
You guys remember them, the feds going there and they were taking specific pictures of this pool gate. That was interesting.
Said, oh, there's nothing to see here. We see the feds coming through that side area. They're going through the pool area, and they're going to pause and take photos when they go out the gate.
Watch this.
This would be consistent with the perp coming from a staging area or parked elsewhere, coming through the backyard neighbors.
Now, okay, let's think about this. Let's say there was no vehicle that pulled up at Nancy's house that night, that there was a staging area. And by staging area, we're talking about the home behind the house. Okay? Let's pretend for a moment that there was no car in her driveway or anything like that. Now, if Nancy was taken out this way through the gate, through the backyard to the house, right? That she would certainly, almost in my opinion, she wouldn't be able to do that on her own. Right. So it makes me, and there would definitely need help carrying her. Definitely. Maybe that's why these perpetrators was there so long. You get what I mean? Maybe that's why they weren't in a hurry, because if something happened, all they had to do was run next door, more or less. Is it possible? That would be a
lawn
interesting crime.
Going into Nancy Guthrie's property and going past the pool and coming through that gate. This is from our friends at Fox News, but let's see the 12 video again. The aerial video. Where would the vacant home be? There you see the neighbor's house. Did he come around and go through the pool area and down that side portion?
Okay, let's look at this a minute. And down, like this side portion? Is this what they mean? This side portion?
Of Nancy's home. This is from our friends at 12 News. So to you, Justice Scott Morgan, okay, let's just go with the theory. We have to pursue every avenue that a vacant home was used as a staging area. What should they be doing right now as far as processing the staging area?
Well, I hope that it's completely locked down and that they've got the right personnel that are out there that could potentially process this. Thinking about anybody that might be indwelling, and just like Dave said just a moment ago, were they hanging out there for an extended period of time? And that's key, because the longer you hang out in a location relative to, say, trace evidence as it applies to forensics, the higher the probability is that you're going to leave something behind, just like Locard's principle. So if you're in that space, whether it be footprints or whatever the case might be, maybe discarded wrappers, if you're surveilling an area, things that you might not think of that we would go in, because we've got all the time in the world as forensics folks to go in there and pick that place apart. My biggest concern, Nancy, is that they haven't gotten to this soon enough, because we've got a lot of time that has elapsed. Has anything degraded in there? Has anything been rubbed up against and obliterated? All these sorts of things. So this is a time critical area.
Okay, thank you so much for becoming a member, my friend. Really, really do appreciate that. Welcome, my love. Good to see you. Thank you so very much for becoming a member. We do appreciate your support. And thank you, Michelle. Thank you, love. Appreciate you. Hello, everyone. I hope I'm not late. Love this podcast. Well, thank you, Miss Michelle. Really do appreciate you. You've been here about an hour. You can go back and put it backwards and maybe put me on 2-speed or something. Thank you so much. And thank you for the kind words and support and being a member as well, my dear. Good to see you. Okay, let's see here. I don't know. Definitely late for this. The police, in my opinion. I do feel like she's really close. Really, really close. Like she's almost under our nose.
And given the proximity, I think that it's significant. I hope that they're processing this accurately, looking for things like fingerprints, footprints, anything that can tie back to perhaps Mrs. Guthrie's location, maybe even that car that we are talking about, the phone, points of ingress and egress. You think about that gate back there in the backside. Did they always take care, if they were surveilling the area, to walk through that gate? Did they touch it? Had they left anything behind? So all of this stuff is still on the table, my friend.
This could explain why we don't see a car that night, why the porch guy approached on foot. Is the
Yeah, the jab. If she was alive when they left the house, her mouth would have been covered, taped to stop her from screaming, in my opinion. So blood couldn't come from her mouth. Yeah, I don't think the blood is from her mouth. I think, in my opinion, if it comes from anywhere, like the head region, I think it is from the nose, or the arm area. That's my opinion, though. If it came from the mouth, it would have been like we've all had blood in our mouth, like your mouth bust or something like that. When you spit, it's like a lighter color red, right? It's mixed with saliva. I don't think we see that here.
House behind Guthrie.
But if the neighbor, or if the suspect rather, was using one of the neighbor's houses, the vacant house rather, it would be very, very interesting. But you got to remember, hold on, wait a second. Let me think of something. How long has this house been vacant? How long has that house been vacant? Does anyone know? Okay, Linda, thank you, baby. Anyone know? They would have took her out the way back. They might come back. They might came in the way back, but they definitely put her in the car in the front. I think it would be crazy to carry her really far like that, in my opinion. Vacated 2 days before Nancy was taken. See, that makes me think that if it's the same house that was vacated 2 days before Nancy went missing, that makes me think they weren't there staging, or the person involved is in that house. Because, like, if you think about it, this person was clearly stalking, canvassing the neighborhood before Nancy went missing. Now, if I was going to stage in that house and I knew it was empty, that would be part of the plan. But I don't think you're going to notice this house is empty all of a sudden.
Home. Does it require the perp to come through the yard where the dog barked? Is the vacant home being processed for prints, DNA evidence? Question: were people squatting there?
Could have.
Did they have a lease? Did they?
They could have. I mean, if they were, and that's another point. Very good point, Jab. Or they knew the family was leaving. But to me, if they knew that they were leaving, they would have had to have been there the day that they were leaving. Like, how do you know that the neighbors are leaving? You see them moving, mostly. I mean, unless you've had a conversation with them, but to me, it seems a little.
They rent. We see the feds walking the trail. Is this why? So many cases that I have covered and investigated and prosecuted involved use of a vacant home. Joe Scott, while I've got you, we now know that the cast prints that were attempted outdoors likely yielded nothing, probably because it was a gravel walkway for any number of reasons. But there's still hope of electrostatic lifts. What's that?
Okay, so when you think about
Deb says Brian the Inton had talked to one of the neighbors. Those people that own the house had not lived there for a while. They've been living in Kentucky. I know, like, one down the street, there's a couple houses there that are vacant.
electrostatic lifts, we all know about magnetism, right? We learned about that in physical science back in junior high school. So negatives attract positives. So what we do with electrostatic lift, you see an example of one here that we did at Jack State. That's a mylar sheet. It's kind of like vinyl. You lay it over a suspected area where you have taken an oblique light. You see how we're lighting that kind of oblique?
They should have done this with the damn mat.
Like that, and we try to raise that print by electrostatic charge. So you place the mylar sheet over it, you add an electrical charge. The charge on the paper on the mylar is actually negative, and everything at the ground level is positive. So what happens is this is lifted and captured. And we have that for, as long as we treat it, with respect, the bit of evidence so that we don't ruin it. We can go back to the lab and we can have a footprint expert that can assess it. And you're going to look for all kinds of little anomalies in there. And here's a thought, Nancy. Here's a thought as well. Back to that vacant house, okay? Are there any footprints over there that they could have actually assessed relative to electromagnetic lifts that could be tied back to anything that they might find on the floors inside of her house?
50 days later.
If the scene wasn't destroyed by crime scene investigators, Scott Eicher, we're also learning that the feds are searching for pharmaceutical records similar to meds used by Nancy Guthrie. How do you do that? Clearly, they're trying to find someone filling prescriptions or getting meds for Nancy Guthrie.
I think this is a no-brainer. I don't think Nancy's taking any medicine.
So how do you go about finding that information?
Well, you got to first jump the hurdle of privacy regarding medical records. That's going to be a tough one to get past. One of the things that you think about is that if they abducted Nancy and they wanted to keep her alive, did they refill her prescription somehow?
No.
Okay, maybe they didn't do that. But can we find other people, newer people that just started the same type of prescriptions that Nancy was on?
I mean, it's possible. Michelle, could the person be secretly squatting in a vacant house? Anything is possible. I just don't think it's probable. This person, whoever he is, right? He likes a comfortable life, right? He likes his clothes clean. He likes to be clean. He likes to be well groomed. I think he likes probably to even socialize, that kind of thing. I really don't think this guy's a squatter. I don't see it. You know what I mean? Walking from the bathroom to the bed, not realizing I was bleeding. What's that, Joe? I don't agree, Justin. In just then a minute and a half, I bled the same amount if not more, all over the hospital floor, walking from the bathroom to the bed, not realizing I was bleeding. Yes. Do you take any type of blood thinners or anything? And it depends also where you're bleeding as well. If like you're bleeding from the skull area, right? You bleed more quickly. If you bleed from your mouth, it looks like you're bleeding more, but it's usually because it's mixed with saliva.
So, I mean, that's an avenue to go, but I think it's going to be hard. It's not like you can do a tower dump on
1000%.
prescriptions. You're going to have to find a way to get into the privacy aspect of getting people's medical histories.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if there's a way, I guarantee the feds will find it. Tonight, we're also learning the feds are expanding their questioning to people that don't necessarily live in the neighborhood. They are now questioning landscapers, construction workers, gardeners, you name it.
Deb says, Justin, remember Fed said 10 a.m. on Saturday, perp cased Nancy's house and neighbor saw him that morning too. So possibly they were using staging area with the vacant house. Absolutely. Yes, and this is the time that the car was there too. I don't find I find that very, very interesting. I'm not I don't find it coincidental, that is for sure. Hey Sin, good to see you. If this is what the investigation is doing right now, it is likely because they don't have any serious leads. This all sounds like a shot in the dark kind of stuff, kind of concerning. It may be. It may be. The question is, for me, like I've been asking, is, and it's easy to say they either know or they don't, but they either know or they don't. They either know that who this vehicle is, and that's why they're not saying, hey, check out if anybody has this kind of such and such vehicle, or they are just shooting in the dark and just have zilch.
Maybe the pool crew that Nana's allowed to come clean the pool after the kidnapping. Question to you, Dave Mack. Is it true that in the midst of all this, with the feds doing the heavy lifting, Nana's is spending quality time at the gym?
Nancy, he is under a microscope and it doesn't seem to bother him in the least bit. Just to give you an idea, he has gone to the gym 4 out of 5 days. He's spending 90 plus minutes inside the gym. And by the way, he's being followed by the media because...
Oh, baby, he is in his Corvette with the top down with Billy Ray Cyrus playing. You know he is. We've seen the pictures. In fact, wait a second. There he is. There he is, right there. With his little top down, tires shining, right? He's got his polyester pantyhose on, probably underneath his pants, all that shit. He's doing weirdo, fucking weirdo he is.
Again, this is a guy that's got a recall out on him right now. He lives in an $850,000 gated community. His home is a mini mansion. Nice. He's driving a fairly new Corvette convertible, and they follow him to the gym where he's 90 minutes at least working out, making himself look better because, daggone it, the rest of us are trying to figure out where Nancy Guthrie is. But no, he's more concerned about how he looks.
So many people are struggling to keep up with credit card payments every single month.
Okay. All right. Look at this.
Manual for behavior prediction. He's got a second book, Unbreakable Alliances, a spy recruiter's authoritative guide to cultivating powerful and lasting connections. Robin.
What's his salary? I got it. What's up? Yeah. I got that text. I showed that yesterday. What's up? You talking about with a group of people? I drive a Vet, but it's older like me. Oh, who doesn't love a Corvette? But you know, he's an elected official who's going to basketball games and in his Corvette with the top down. He has a television reality show, doesn't he? Well, he doesn't, but it's in his county. That's what I'm wondering, because like the sheriff doesn't make that much money. He's in an $850,000 house driving a brand new Corvette. You know, there's been a lot of questions in the past. Just saying, I'm not accusing anyone.
Drake is joining us. And Robin, you got me at former FBI special agent and chief of the FBI Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program. The books are just gravy. Thank you for being with us, Robin. Robin, I want you to look at something that's come to our attention.
Yeah, we was talking
and that
about
is the behavior of the porch guy. Robin Drake, he seems extremely casual and not at all in a hurry on what we now know to be January 11. What do you make of it?
All right, now I've got a question. Because I'm just thinking about this. All right, let's talk. So we were talking about the staging area and all that. Okay, fine. But they have to remove Nancy, right? And that means if they removed her, they had to most likely remove her from the front if there's a car in the driveway, right? If there's a car in the driveway, they had to remove her from most likely the front. If they're across the street at a staging area, I just don't see it. I think they had to remove her from the front. I'm not buying the staging area part. I'm just not buying it. Thank you, Linda. They could have pulled into the garage. I don't think they could have fit the vehicle into the garage, but I think they could have pulled it up and opened the garage from the inside. The question is, again, when you see this video, this guy, he's waiting for someone to come to that door, in my opinion. They would take her to the nearest landfill. They wouldn't have pulled up front until the cameras were gone. Agree.
Yeah, so anytime we're doing behavioral analysis, what we really want to do is put ourselves in their shoes to the best of our ability, obviously, because we're not broken people like this. But we want to literally think about what they're doing, what they're seeing, and what their motive is for doing these things. What's the goal? And so being so casual says he has reps. A lot of people have said he's done this before. It's not unusual for him because he's so casual about it. But also, what do people do? I mean, all of us in listening and tuning in can actually think of this. When we show up on someone's doorstep and they have a Ring cam or Nest cam or something, what do we typically hear? We hear the alarm. We hear the thing going off inside. And so,
depends on your settings.
Up to 80% of home invasions, whether targeting an individual or targeting property inside, they're doing scouting and reconnaissance, testing security systems, testing for things in the area, and also lingering on the doorstep. A large
Well, trust me, they had to do a lot if those two, if all these cameras, I mean, think about the cameras inside. They couldn't have, they weren't recording. How the hell did he know that? How did those other two cameras that was pointing directly at Nancy's house, the only two cameras pointing at Nancy's backyard, how were they not recording? the garage didn't open after she was dropped off. Well, you can't say that necessarily. And the reason is it wasn't opened up with an app because there was no data to suggest that it was open. However, if you open it with a clicker or you open it up with the pin pad, it's not going to show a data point. It just sends a signal. There is no internet data. So it could have opened. It just wasn't opened with an app. You wouldn't want to park in the driveway in case someone drove by and saw a strange vehicle there, right? But you would think, but it's kind of off the road, number one. But number two, you have to go. All right, let's look at this. Let me show you this. Look at this. Okay. Check this out. I will pull. All right. Here we go. All right. So this is Mrs. Guthrie's home, right? You have to enter the driveway one of these ways, right? So if you enter the driveway here, this goes to her garage over here. It's kind of like, or you can go around. That's it. That's the only access you can get with the car. But you have to enter. There's just a U or this little thing that goes to the garage. Okay. Now, if she was, so they had to come up here in a vehicle unless you're going to just carry her out and about through, and I just don't see it. I really just don't see it. Why can't someone make a 3-part? You can, but you've got a 3-point turn. Why you can, but how did you get her out? Right? She either had to walk or be carried out. It's the path of least resistance. Whether she's walking by herself, you don't want her to walk far. If you are carrying her out, you don't want to carry her that far. Right? So if you pulled up here, right, you're either going to have the garage door opened or I guess the back door and you could walk around. But the most logical way is either through the garage and put her in the vehicle there, or right here and have the car pulled up right here and put her in the vehicle here. Right? So it's got to be one or the other. Justin, can you put up a picture where it shows Nancy's house in comparison to the vacant home? I don't have that. If you can send it to me, I can pop it up, but I don't have it right now. I just watched a video today and they said there was a car in the background in the porch pic. No, I know a lot of people said that, but we don't know that. What did Jason say? I'm trying to see what Jason said. I'm Aussie in hours, please. The bushes would block the sight of. Well, yeah, I mean, okay, look at this. Let me show you this. Go to Google Earth. Look at this right here. It's hard to see during the daytime where Nancy lives from the road, let alone night, you know. All right, so look at this right here. Let me take this banner down. Check this out. All right, so this is Nancy's home right here. Right? Okay. It's hard to see. It's hard to see. I mean, so this is one of the entrances. You know, it makes the U circle, or you go around here to where her garage is in the guest home. So they either had to go in here, go to the garage, or go make the circle around. But again, it's you're just not going to notice at night. I think they felt very comfortable. Remember, they were there 40 some minutes, right? And this is the entrance. Got it really zoomed in. And they came down. One or the other. Let me see here. This is a different day, but or different, yeah, when it was filmed. So there you go. Oh, look at it. There's a trash can there when you see it. When you see it right here. When was this taken? March 2022. And this was taken, when I go over here, November 2025. This picture right here, November 2025. So not too long ago. But when I go like over here, this photo was taken March 2022. This is when you can see that. Okay, now there's a couple houses here. I don't know which one are they saying that's vacant. A lot of people are saying this one, they're not home a lot. This one is vacant. You can tell. Or at least it was in 2/14/2024. Right? And not sure that one. Let's see here. Let's see what chat's saying. That's it. Okay. Would a trash can that size be big enough to carry? Yes. Oh, 1,000%. Yes, absolutely. Sure would. Vicky, thank you so much, my friend. Welcome to the Pearl family. Really, really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. Y'all welcome our newest Pearl, Miss Vicky. And thank you so much, Miss Vicky. I really do appreciate that. Which one is where they left the next morning? I think that one is more on down the street, isn't it? I don't understand, Savannah, why she's not making a statement. Why aren't you looking for... I'm surprised she hasn't made, because she was making statements for a long time, but now she's not. This house right here. Okay, so here's Nancy's house. There's another house down here. I'm trying to remember where it was. It was a rough house. Oh, look here. See, they were doing construction here in 214. See that? Or they were taking everything out. Did they tear the house down? Look at there, like it's down to there's not even a roof. Roof. You don't make fun of the way I say roof. There. Oh yeah, they built a new house or redid it. Yeah, sure did. See the look at the construction. This is November 2025. That's interesting. Interesting. I say it the same way, Justin. Yeah. He had all kinds of places to hide. He sure did. I can't even imagine what they may have overlooked in the neighborhood. We got wheels coming up to the front entrance. Yeah. Yeah, Charlotte. I mean, you've got damn pizza boys delivering food. Nobody's just standing around doing shit. It's crazy. Exactly, Justin. That's why the bite light makes sense. This perp was construction. Construction, very possible. You know, electrician would be considered construction as well, in my opinion. Very, very possible. Yeah. Very crazy. Okay. Let me pull this up. I need to go back here. I need to look at this. This is bugging me. Okay, give me a second. Doug, live from Northport. Our friend Doug. He's doing great work, by the way. I need to see this. It's really, a lot of people are very sus about this guy. I don't know. I don't think it's him, but there's a lot of very interesting things about this video that could be coincidental. I don't know. Live from Northport. Is Northport one word or two? Two. Okay. Okay. This guy right here.
And I didn't realize, if you look at the sides, they shrunk this video down because it doesn't say ring on the upper left and it doesn't have the timestamp. So somebody that was playing this shrunk it down and I didn't even realize that. So now I was just doing some research online and saw, oh my God, I saw this is.
What is this guy doing? He's the perp with some backpack holding something in front of the camera. The one in Brian Anson's video interview was about the house that was used for the Airbnb. It's forbidden they haven't. Deb, this footage came out a few weeks ago.
This is the full view. This is the full view we didn't see. And what I saw almost gave me a heart attack. Look to the upper left corner of the video.
This.
What do you see? It's really hard to see, but I got it blown up here. And you're not going to believe the biggest detail we all missed. That would be a white Kia Soul to the left, upper left corner. where this guy is trying to get into the back of the gate. I lightened it up so you can all.
You know what bothers me about this as well? It almost looks like the damn Kia Soul is turned on.
This is actually what a Kia Soul looks like. Now I'm going to show you what that actual video that we did not have right here, the wider view. You can see the car to the upper left, the white Kia Soul, the car that was actually seen on video after Nancy was taken. Oh, and right here, you see him trying to get into the right side, the left side. He didn't know how to get into this gate. People said, well, this was his house. He's cleared. This is not his house. The people that sent this in said this guy was trying to get into our backyard. That's why he didn't know how to open the gate, because it's not his house. People said it was his house.
Well, clearly you know how to get in your own damn gate. And listen, you don't turn around. He gave up. He gave up and he turned around. Now, why does he got 2 backpacks?
I literally almost had a heart attack when I saw this. When I saw this Kia Soul in the corner that I never saw before. Maybe before we didn't know about the Kia Soul. I think this came out later. But once I saw this, my face was red. I was ready to have a heart attack. I really took a long time to calm down. Now, this is the video in front of the house that recorded cars going back and forth. I think there was 12. And then the one leaving after Nancy was taken, this is the white Kia Soul. And after I saw, this is the one from the video we just watched, back behind the guy. I mean, when I saw this, I couldn't believe it. What are the odds? And I also looked up if the Ring camera can have the wrong times, because they said it was only 5 minutes, the time that they saw him to the time the thing went off. And Nancy had a battery powered. It wasn't even wired. And the internet was off there. So who knows what the time was? You can't judge this whole thing by the time. People arguing about the details of this video we show by the garbage can, saying, oh, he doesn't have facial hair. Well, that looks like he has facial hair to me. That looks like a goatee.
He definitely has facial hair. He's definitely got big eyes. I don't know about his eyebrows. He looks slimmer to me, though. But again, this guy that we don't know exactly. I mean, we know we're looking for this guy, but we don't know about the other guys. To me, this guy is a lot slimmer. But it could be the position of the camera or whatever. He did have 3 layers of clothes on, but to me, his face looks fuller here, but he's really close to the camera too. But to me, his mustache looks fuller here. But again, we only have this position. People look different.
Does that not look like he has a goatee? And this is this is a video that's far away. This is up on a house.
That you were saying that he was cleared, word sleuth.
House, probably 20 feet away. Oh, and here they said,
look at this.
Oh, here's his 2 hoodies. The 2 hoodies he had on looks like a black one and the gray one. They said he didn't have that when he went in front of the doorbell. It's not the same guy. He didn't have a hoodie. Well, look right here.
He certainly
look
got
above the backpack. That's the back of a hoodie. That's not. He doesn't have a 6-inch neck with hair on it. That's a hoodie on top of the backpack. There's another angle.
What I'm saying.
See the top of the backpack? That's a hoodie. I don't know if it's the black one or the gray one, but that's definitely a hoodie. People that said it wasn't. And people said this is a water bottle in his pocket. I tell you what, that sure looks like a holster with a strap wrapped.
Yes, this is the same night though.
Around it.
People were saying this is a water bottle. It's not a damn water bottle. I don't know if it's a holster though. I don't know what the hell it is.
To me, if you ask me, that's not a water bottle. I zoomed in because I started thinking, oh, they're right, that's a water bottle. And then I zoomed in.
But to me, this looks like where you could clip the pew pew as well. But I don't know.
Made up photo. This is actual photo. I zoomed in. That's not a water bottle. It did look like it when it was bouncing in his coat. Then you have these. If you look real close.
Oh, damn. Look at the holster. It's white. Just like, or it's dark, actually. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, it's white and it's black around. But you see, I don't see black on this. I don't see black on this.
Coat. Then you have these. If you look real close, look at the backpack, the reflector. People said, "Oh, the backpack didn't have a reflector." Well, you can't see it in the daylight, but when he turned it towards the back in the dark, then you could see the reflector. That's on the strap. So everything that people said, "Oh, this can't be," well, yes, it can be.
Thank you, Word Sleuth.
Right here, look at this.
Yes, it's.
I mean, look at the pocket. I'm not talking about the coat. I'm talking about the pants. Either he's happy to see the gate, or there's something in his pocket that looks.
There's something definitely in his pocket here. There's something in his pocket for sure. I think we can all agree. You can see the bulge, and it's not because he's happy to see the gate. I'll just say that.
Like a weapon, like a weapon. So, I mean, am I wrong here? This is all a coincidence. And here you can see his hand. I don't know if that's blood. Looks like something red on his hand. I don't know what that is. Looks like he's reaching to his front.
Do you know where that was, Judy?
And here you can see it. Like he's holding his coat shut or something. I don't know what that is. You can see his hand.
This is a different spot, different place, but
now here's another crazy video. I can't figure this out. It's 0.4 miles, so it's really close to Nancy Guthrie's house. At about 3 a.m. on the 19th. That's a few weeks after this whole thing. This is in her neighborhood. Look at the Mercedes that's lit up on the ground. So that means someone tried to get in or someone got out of the car. And you can see, this is just a photo. And you can see the car's lit up inside. So now watch the video and listen to this. Listen to this person walk.
Think so? I don't think he does. Now, what's interesting about this guy's got, but he could be like homeless or something. This guy's got, like, if you'll notice right here, let me make it bigger. This guy, he's clearly got something wrapped around him and you can hear him clanging, but he's got mud on his pants, or they're ripped one, but I think it's mud. I think this is just a homeless person who's down on their luck and probably carrying everything they got. See what I mean? You can see there's mud or something on him. I don't think this guy has anything at all. I think he's just on hard times and he's struggling. But I don't know what's around him. He's... I gotta turn this down because it's...
Homeowner called the cops or what, but now the cops are coming right here. I don't know if the alarm set it off or why the cops are coming. Okay, I gotta play this again. Look close at this guy. It looks like there's something huge in his coat, like sticking out 2 or 3 feet in the back. And he's got the backpack. If you look close, he's got the reflector. It's got the reflector.
But a lot of backpacks have reflectors, though. A lot of backpacks have reflectors. That's... Nancy, you would be surprised. if you live on a street where there's like a sidewalk or anything, there is so many people out at night. There is so many people out at night. It is surprising.
It looks like the same outfit that he was wearing. And the backpack, I don't know if it was, did you hear it clanking? I don't know if it was shovels or sounded like pots and pans. But his coat was sticking out 2 feet in the back. Something's fishy. They need to check behind this guy's house where the camera is. Something's really fishy here. I don't get this. Look at his coat. It's literally sticking out 2 feet. What is this? And he's just a few blocks from Nancy's house on the 16th, unless it's that night. I don't know, unless the time's wrong or the date's wrong. Because it said the time and date can be.
Yeah. To me, I think this is probably a homeless guy, but he does look like he's got like dirt and stuff on him. I don't know when this was.
Off, but I'm assuming it's the 19th. Did he come back? Was he in her backyard? Was he in this guy's backyard? Was he in his car?
Babs.
Did he try to get in his car? Is that his car?
I think that's a duffel
This
bag
case will
behind him,
never be
strapped
cold.
over his
It will be
shoulder.
solved. The Pima County Sheriff's Department has
Yes, we
multiple
do,
people
Steve.
on
Yes,
this
we
case.
do.
And we also have the
11:55.
FBI. They are all working very hard on this case.
They are.
Everyone, please say a
I think FBI is working really hard on Sheriff Doofy's stumbles. You know what I mean? I think he is. Make sure you sub up to Doug live from Northport. I'm gonna drop his link. He said we missed something. I want to see what he says here.
I don't know how he didn't know to block himself with a towel or a cardboard or something coming up to the Nest doorbell camera. You would think he must not be professional. He goes out and rips flowers out of the ground to try to block the camera. He must not think the night vision can see him right now. And he's got to get up close with the flowers, which makes no sense. If he planned this out, he should have had something, turned his head back and walked up with his hand, just like that, but far away with his head turned. He should have been prepared. Obviously, he wasn't prepared.
He's not the main guy.
I don't think this guy knows what he's doing. And notice how he tilts sideways. And notice the shape of the backpack. Someone said when he reaches up, you can see a tattoo on his arm, but that's stretching it.
I think it is a tattoo. That I do.
But you'll see the shape of his backpack. It almost looks like there's another backpack in there. 2 a.m. Her pacemaker spikes. She must have been startled by something.
I just dropped his link.
The reason we know this is because she had it connected to her phone. So as soon as this monitor shows an increase in the heart rate, it sends a signal to the phone. The phone is linked to this device unless you get too far away. Now 2:12 a.m. Another camera, I'm not sure if it's this one or another one, detects a motion. So it actually goes off, but there's no image. I don't know if they're going to be able to get that image. I think they're trying to. Now disconnects. 2:26 a.m. A mouth. Just like that other guy, trying to get on the right side of the gate. Now he's trying to get on the left side. He has no idea how to open that gate. It's not his house. People said it's his house. It's not his house. Couldn't get in. Put something back in his mouth. I don't know if it's...
I mean, this clearly is not his house. I mean, he tries to get past that gate. He doesn't get past the gate, and he doesn't get in the truck. He doesn't get in the car. He leaves the area. That's suspicious to me. But again, to me, this guy looks more fuller. here. That is weird. That is weird. What do some criminals do before they commit, especially homicides, crimes? They cut their hair bald. I'm sorry.
Or took the flashlight out, maybe. Maybe he had the flashlight out so he could see in the backyard. Maybe he had the flashlight in his mouth. Maybe he put it in there.
Look
I
at
don't know.
that. I didn't notice that. He's messing with his mouth. Look at that. Do you notice that? Watch
Took the
this.
flashlight out, maybe. Maybe he had the flashlight
He's doing something with his mouth. Watch that.
out so he could see in the backyard. Maybe he had the flashlight
He's
in
looking
his
around.
mouth.
What the hell is he doing with his mouth right there? And he's doing it right when he pulls up.
Something in his pocket. Maybe it was the flashlight that was in his mouth. That other guy,
What's this?
people said it's his house. It's not his house. Couldn't
He's
get
doing
in.
something with his mouth there too.
Put something back in his mouth. I don't know if it's, or took the flashlight out, maybe. Maybe he
Watch. He's doing something with his mouth.
had the flashlight out so he could see in the backyard. Maybe he had
Okay.
the flashlight in his mouth.
There you go again.
Maybe he put it in there. I don't know. Because it's dark in the backyard.
He's got something in his. Hold on. He's got something right there. He's definitely got something in his pocket.
Dark in the backyard. But this is the
That's-
video
That's a coat pocket, and that's the zip.
we played earlier. I'm not going to explain the pocket. Is if you want
He's got something.
to see the details, go to my last video.
Pants are completely.
And you'll
different.
see the pocket sticking out. Looks like there's a gun in there. It's not a water bottle.
But I don't think they're built the same. The people, I think the other guy's thicker. However, I think this guy has a lot of layers on as well.
Out of his pocket. I took a close-up photo. And here's the bombshell evidence. Look to the left back there, way back there. You can't even hardly see it till you zoom in. This is what I missed. It's a Kia Soul. A Kia Soul is way off to the left. A white Kia Soul. Do you see it back there? I don't know if you can see it in this cut.
Right there.
But what I'm going to do is I'll just zoom it in so you coincidence and crime.
Right there. One. Let me
The what people said was a water bottle right here that doesn't look like a water bottle. But anyway, he said, look at the sleeve. It looks like it has that little black one before inside of there. See that? Someone has to recognize him. Even though it's blurry, someone knows who that is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now, one thing, like when you go back here with this video, he turns around like he doesn't, like he's doing something, like making sure nobody's around. Like he glances around real quick. Like he's not in a place where he's supposed to be.
Mouth. I don't know if it's
Or doing something he's not
or
supposed
took
to.
the
Watch this.
flashlight out, maybe. Maybe he had the flashlight out so he could see in the backyard.
Right there.
Maybe
Watch
he had
this.
the flashlight in his mouth. Maybe see in the backyard.
See, he's checking
Maybe
out.
he had the flashlight in his mouth. Out so he could see in the backyard. Maybe he had the flashlight in his mouth. Maybe he put it in there. I don't know. Because it's dark in the backyard. But this is the video we played earlier. I'm not going to explain the pocket. Is if you want to see the details, go to my last video. And you'll see the pocket sticking out. Looks like there's a gun in there. It's not a water bottle in his pocket. I took a close-up photo.
Okay. Now, I initially thought, well, this guy's going to throw this backpack over. I wish I knew what house this is as well. I thought he was going to throw this backpack over, and he didn't, right? He was just trying to get through that gate. Why was he trying to get through this gate? Does it lead him to somewhere? He didn't try very long, and he turns around. This, I think that the cops identified this guy early on because they said he wasn't related to the case. I've asked people that, where I need to see. I haven't.
And here's
It was another video that I know that they said that too. Wasn't this video. I haven't seen it about this video. I've seen it about the other video. The guy was at the window. He was like looking through a window or something. I knew that they said that guy was unrelated. I have not seen it about this guy yet, though. I don't really think it's him as the suspect, but I think there's a lot of very interesting things. I know a lot of you guys do, but the guy, he clearly did not know the camera was there. I think the investigator later ruled out the man, stating that his cannot. If anybody has that, please send it to me. The gate may have been a shortcut to. I don't know. He just doesn't look thick enough to me. It's still weird. He looks like he's not doing something. Justin, when they mentioned that this guy was not related to the case, that was the reason they said this, besides not seeing backpack. Does anyone have that so I can see it? I saw a video where this guy wasn't related to. I seen the one where the guy was, it was showed early on. He was like at a window or something. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't see the blood on him, though. I don't see any blood on him. But I guess a lot of people shop at Walmart. Thank you, Sue. Thank you. More evidence, and more transparency. I agree, Angel Mama. Good to see you, baby. How you doing? It's him, group of them, for sure. Many coincidences, yeah. Okay, the last video that he did shows the blood. Okay, let me check something real quick. And did Brian do anything? No. Brian's covering Jimmy Gracie right now. The guy that went, the 20-year-old who went missing in Spain. They did find him. Is it an accident or not? I don't know. It's weird. Maybe he's the pickup guy. It's close by. It is Linda. It's the same night. Something strange about that could have been involved. Ellie stopped him that night when neighbor called them, Brandy says. Okay, I'll look at that. Make sure you guys sub up. It is a Kia Soul, but to be honest with you, Kia Souls are extraordinarily common. I didn't see it. I didn't see the blood. I didn't. Okay, guys, I'm at 2 hours. I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys are amazing. If anything happens in Nancy's case, I'll be here. You know that. Yeah, I don't know if it looked like his glove. You can see. It's interesting. Hey, Maggie, good to see you. I wonder why the FBI refused to help from search and rescue organization. Wasn't the FBI. It was Sheriff Nanos. Sheriff Nanos. Thank you, Crime Time. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you. Thank you, Christine, Linda, Sherry, Peace, Yvette, everyone. Sweet dreams. Do you think the porch guy could have unalived Nancy if he was working for someone? I think, well, I mean, let's think about this just real quick. If there's more than one perpetrator, someone has to be the one that is mad at Nancy or has the motive to do this to Nancy. It can't be all of them. It's not all of them, which means they were all hired or one of them has the motive to do it. Right? And that's important. That's very important in my opinion. I don't think it's 2 or 3 guys that has the motive to do this. Someone had to come up with the idea or the motive, that felt like they were wronged, or the financial motive. There are people that believe that it's just a one person that did this. I don't see how. I don't see how this is one person. I just don't. Doug, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm watching the wrong video. Okay. How you doing, Doug? Good to see you, my friend. Do you remember Molly and I? I used to be under Justin for all. The video with the blood is from today. Okay. Here, guys, I'm going to drop the video from today from Doug. Y'all make sure you go watch it and sub up to Doug. Let me see here 1 second. For the replay group, Doug is in my description, by the way. Make sure y'all sub up for the replay crew. Nine hours ago. Okay. Guys, go watch that and sub up new evidence. What we all missed. Again, blood warning, graphic content, adults. Oh, there we go. Here you go. Good to see you, Doug. You're doing great. Great work. Let me see what he said. You believe it's one person? How do they know? How do they know Tommaso brought her home? Well, I think, in my opinion, you can safely say that Nancy made it home with the garage door, with the blood, with her hearing aids being there, her phone, her pacemaker is going to show data from the time she pretty much gets in the house. It's going to have all that data. When the Kia drove by, it showed a person in the passenger window. Yeah, John, when that video came out, I immediately went live and started talking about it. And you can see a person in, I don't know if it's a passenger or the driver, but you can see a person or driver in the car, Tesla in the driveway. Yeah, we know exactly. I've got the address of that house where the Kia is. By the way, the longer this goes, the more I think that it is one person. I think it could have been one person, maybe why it's taking longer than usual. It's possible. It's possible. And that could have been why it took them 45 minutes or 41 minutes, but it's really hard to move a person by yourself. Very hard. A lot of people can lift 100 pounds, but when it is 150 pounds and it is distributed the way a human is distributed, how we are 5'5", 5'3", 5'8", and how we move around, even it's hard. It's very difficult. Angel Mom, okay. This someone monk doing side by side of Tommaso and the porch guy. Maybe tomorrow you can look at it toward the middle of the video. I saw that. Someone sent me that. I know a lot of people. There are people that still believe this is Tommaso. This is not Tommaso. It's not Tommaso. It's really not. It's not Tommaso. In my opinion, have I cleared Tommaso? In my opinion, hell no. But I don't believe this is Tommaso. This guy is younger than Tommaso. Tommaso is gray, older man. But a lot of people are talking about his walk and stuff like that. But there's a creator that's putting out like a walk of how it's I need to take this down. I just don't see it. The eyes look like a female to you. I think the guy's got what we consider. So, like if you're a manly man, unlike me, if we consider like a guy that has aesthetically what we consider big eyes and thick eyelashes and stuff, we consider it, the desirable thing, and we associate that as being feminine, right? And I think that's why people thinks that they will think that like he looks kind of female in the eyes and stuff, but it's a dude. It's a dude. He's got, look at, I know a lot of people's like, oh, he's got like a fake mustache and stuff. That's not fake, I'm telling you. And if that's a female, she got big ass hands. She's a brute. She a brute if she's hey Carrie. Mask makes your face look so much different. It really does. It really does. Like if I put on a ball cap, I can't say it on here. Fuck that. They'll be like, oh, you can't say that. People get too bent out of shape for being politically correct about everything. But I immediately look like Ellen DeGeneres. It's if I cannot put on a ball cap. I can put them on backwards, but if I put one on like front, no. I might go buy a ski mask and put it on and see if you can if I look, I mean, everybody's going to look different. I've been accused to with the cat. I just look, I don't know what's the word. I look like a lesbian who's going to change your oil. That's what I look like. All right, guys. Yeah. Chuck Norris, rest in peace, my friend. It's that's bad. Just the thought of that. I never seen a guy with a pinky ring. That would be a turnoff for me. He's got a ring. He might have a ring on. Yeah. See if we could recognize you in a ski mask with a fake lineup. Yeah, I have to take it all off though. I mean, like, but yeah, I have a tip. Don't run with Yeah, I might get a ski mask and see what I can do. I think it's sort of remote to use like a walkie-talkie. Yeah, I do too. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Vicky. They released the crime scene way too soon. So wasn't Brian Enton one who found the blood droplets after the... Oh, yeah. Yep. All right, guys. Much love, everyone. God bless you. Take good care of yourself. You only get so many trips around the sun. Enjoy it. Love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow or if anything breaks in between. Good night.